Good morning. How's everybody doing? Vic's Views here. Thought I'd drop another video. I just want to share with you guys something I read this morning. I was reading my scriptures this morning, and I'm on vacation, by the way. I'm enjoying every minute of it. Mine's a staycation, not a vacation. A staycation, but it's a vacation. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great day out there. But I was reading, and after I got done reading some scriptures, I sit back and I like to check out stuff, you know, that I read, like movies and video games. So there was a site on there that was called the 10 best movies of all time, according to IMDb. Okay, so it says this is dramas. So 10 best movies of all time, according to IMDb. I thought this was interesting. And another thing I want to put out there, the reason why I make videos like this, to let you guys know, is because I told you guys, I love watching movies. I love playing video games. I love to work out. I love studying God's word. I like riding my bike. And I like taking walks. And I live a very simple life. And it's very simple. I have just what I need. I don't have overabundance of stuff. You walk in my apartment, I just got what I need. I'm trying to learn how to just live within my means. But anyway, so here, check this list out. Thought it was interesting. Just wanted to share it with you guys. And like I said, on this channel, I'm trying to build this channel on stuff that I feel like I can build it on. It's going to take a while to build this channel to be able to get the kind of people on this stuff that likes to hear this kind of stuff. I know every YouTuber out there wants to be their own thing, but I want to be my own thing. So if it's like a snail's pace, then so be it. So anyway, here we go. So I was looking at this and I kept saying 10 best movies of all time according to IMDb. And I was sitting there and I was looking at it and I was like, don't you think it's kind of hard to figure out what's your best 10 movies of all time? You can ask somebody that's 30 years old, that's been on the planet for only 30 years old, they could be like, whew, man, they're 30. Yeah, somebody that's 40, they'd be like, ooh, that's a lot of movies I have to sift through. You know what I mean? So this is according to IMDb. We'll cut through the chase. I've been talking long enough. Number 10 is The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. That's got Clint Eastwood in it and stuff like that. So that was number 10. So I was sitting there going like this. I said, I remember when I was a little boy, I loved Clint Eastwood. Yeah, I really do. And I said, okay. So number 10 is The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. Number 9, I definitely agree with this one. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Now, I agree with that because I got the box set trilogy of The Lord of the Rings. So I kept saying, okay, yeah, that was pretty cool. And then number 8 is Pulp Fiction. I only watched Pulp Fiction a couple times, and honestly, I thought it was a good movie, even when there was a lot of people. Remember back when Pulp Fiction came out? Well, I was a lot younger back then, and I remember all the people talked about that movie. And I remember, I was much younger then, and I remember saying, yeah, man, I haven't checked it out. And then when I did check it out, I said, I think it's good, but it's never been one that really resonated with me. But I really thought it was a good movie. Now, I want to make sure I put it out there. I really thought it was a good movie. But it was just, I was much younger then. I was like, yeah, I kept telling people, so man, I watched that movie. I could see why you guys like it a lot. I could see why so many people like that movie. It's just not one that's in my, it's not in my collection because I'm just not going to watch Pulp Fiction. But I understand the love for it. Schindler's List is number 7. Never watched that movie because I heard it was extremely long. But then again, you can sit there and argue the fact that I remember when I went to go see Titanic, and I remember that was the first time I went and see a movie that was 3 hours long. And I remember a lot of people give James Cameron a lot of flack for, I know he borrowed a lot of money to make that film. He borrowed money against his something. I forgot the story about how he got the money to do that. He was so detailed about Titanic. And so when Steven Spielberg made this Schindler's List, I heard it was really, really good. And I remember people kept telling me about it. I said, man, I kept saying, man, I don't really want to watch stuff about a bunch of, refugees that, the people trying to get away from the Nazis and all that. I know it was more of a deep story than that. I said, man, growing up as a little black kid, you heard about what happened to the Jews over there in Germany and all that stuff. I remember, and I know that movie's much deeper than that, but I just kept telling people, man, I just can't draw myself to watching that movie, man. I said, to this day, I've never watched Schindler's List, but I heard it was very, very good. And being a big Steven Spielberg fan, uh, you know, I can see why people like this movie. I think he got an award for it. But anyway, that's number 7. And then number 6, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Of course, I'm going to agree with this one because I'm like, I remember taking my kids to go see The Lord of the Rings, man. They were all young then. Good times. But yeah, that's number 6 is The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Now, this is a classic. Never watched it. If I did, it might have been when my mom was alive because I was born in 1959. So, you got to factor in everything that you was watching with your mom. And then all the dinosaurs that are gone now, I call my passed away ancestor, relatives like my aunts and uncles who are all gone and grandpas, I call them the dinosaurs. Now, I know a lot of times in my family, dinosaurs who are all passed away now, being a little boy, I might have seen this movie with one of them, growing up as a kid. And, yeah, it had Jane Fonda's dad in it. He was a big actor back in the day. That's how she got famous, is through him. But anyway, that's called 12 Angry Men. That's an old black and white movie, and it's about a courtroom drama. That's what it's all about. That's number 5. And so number 4 is Godfather Part 2. Heck yeah, I'm going to agree with that one. I was a young lad back then, and I remember when that came out, I remember watching that. I was like, whoa. I was like, well, it was such good acting back then. I miss old TV. And what I mean by missing old TV is like, I just wish that people would stop throwing in all this dumb stuff that they throw in movies now. Come up with something new and fresh. All we get is remakes and this and that and all that. I mean, I get it. And, showing 2 men kissing and 2 women making out. I just wish they would cut that out. I wish they would just go back to just making some good movies and coming up with some good stuff and cut the budget down, and just, I don't know, man. That's just me. Sometimes I get real sad when I watch movies sometimes. It's like, man, what happened, man, We're always getting preached to. They always got to make sure they got to check out. I watched the movie the other day, man. The movie was really good. Clowns in the Cornfield. It was really good. And what they do, they had to show this gay scene in there. They had to make sure they sprinkled that in there. And I just can't stand that stuff, man. I'm still going to say the movie was good, though. It was very entertaining. It was up to me. I'd cut it out, but they had to put it in there. I mean, it grossed me out. I was shocked, but I shouldn't be. But anyway, I had to put that in there. I miss old TV. God made man and God made woman. Simple as that. So number 4 is Godfather Part 2. All right. I agree with this one too. I just thought this was interesting to throw this up on my channel. Number 3 is The Dark Knight. And yes, sir, you bet your bet. I would agree with that. The Dark Knight, man, was so good. I'm trying to think, man, is that the best Batman movie or not? Because I really like Michael Keaton's Batman. Now, I like Jack Nicholson too as the Joker. Jack Nicholson really got into that Joker part. So did the guy that passed away in Dark Knight. He passed away shortly after that, I think. But can't think of his name. But man, he was in Brokeback Mountain. I think he got an award for Brokeback Mountain. I didn't watch Brokeback Mountain because I just didn't, and I heard it was good. And yeah, that dude, man. I wonder what he would be doing if he's still alive and stuff. But he put his heart and soul in The Dark Knight. The guy that played Joker. All right, that's number 3. Number 2 is The Godfather. I have to agree with that. I was so young back then, and I remember being young and hearing people talk about it and stuff. And then when I finally sat down and I started watching it, I thought that was good. Al Pacino, man, just you know, there's a lot of people that was in that movie. That one guy that played, Al Pacino's dad, he passed away. He was an awesome actor. He had one. He was a good actor. Marlon Brando, yeah. Yeah, man, it's weird. So, how we age and we look a certain way when we get older, but then when you go back into seeing somebody when they were young, you be like, man, that dude, a lot of women and a lot of dudes, man, they had it going on back. Marlon Brando, what is his name? Played Godfather. He was a good actor back then. I started looking back at his filmography, man. I was like, man, that dude was a good actor. Al Pacino was a good actor too, man. He was young back then. But number one, and I have to agree with number one, is The Shawshank Redemption. When The Shawshank Redemption came out, it was a box office flop. It became such a good movie. Just goes to show you, a lot of movies can be a box office flop, and they end up doing good. I think at this time, Shawshank Redemption, I think that's all these movies were still when you had Blockbuster and all the video stores that were big back then. So you had a chance to go and go look at a movie, and you find a movie and then you watch it. And then back then, what made movies do so well was you had the video store. You could watch movies, so you would look at a movie and you look at the back and you would read it, and it just gets your imagination going. Then when you take it home and watch it, you would watch it with your family. Then it'd blow your mind. Then you tell somebody else, they watch it with their family. It would blow their mind, and that's how these movies take off. And a lot of movie industries, man, they made a lot of money back on the back end when they was renting movies at the when they used to have Family Video on Blockbuster, and there was so many different Hollywood Video. I think there was another one out there, Hollywood something. There was different video stores out there, but they were so big, and people would sit down, man. That's what they did. It was weekend, man. You order a couple big pizzas, man, and you would get these movies and stuff. And that's how I think a lot of these movies, especially with Shawshank Redemption, I know you had a lot of stuff on TV that you can watch, but it's just a lot of these movies, Schindler's List. I know you was able to rent that in the video store. Anyway, guys, just thought I'd share that with you guys. I thought that was very interesting. We'll go through the list again, and then we'll be done. So, number 10, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Number 9, Lord of the Rings. Number 8, Pulp Fiction. Number 7, Schindler's List. Number 6, The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Number 5, 12 Angry Men. Number 4, The Godfather Part 2. Number 3, The Dark Knight. Really good movie. Number 2 is The Godfather. Number 1 is Shawshank Redemption. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting to share with you guys on this channel the top best movies of all time according to IMDb. That's not according to me. So what do you guys think? You guys agree with this list? There's some bangers up here, man. There's some bangers up here. I mean, there's some serious bangers up here. I can honestly say I can't figure out how I can not disagree with this list, because I don't have no top 10 all time. That would be hard to do, because you can insert a top 10 and you could take one out and put one in there, because there's always something coming out. I don't even know where I could start as far as top 10. You could ask yourself, what is your top 10 movies of all time? But this is just in the drama series. These are all dramas. So anyway, guys, I thought I'd share that with y'all. I hope you guys are safe out there. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend out there that's coming up here in the States. I know we have friends overseas that enjoy they got holidays over there too. So, God bless all y'all overseas as well. But may y'all have a great 4th. And just thought that was some interesting thought I'd share that with you guys. I thought that was kind of interesting. You know what I mean? I just thought it was interesting to share with you guys something I read. I told you I do this. Like when I see something in the video game, and I just want to put this in closing. I don't like my videos being over 6 minutes long, but sometimes I get going. I want to make sure people see and understand who they're dealing with right here. A lot of times I read an article. I just want to share it with you guys. I think it's very informative. I just thought it was interesting when I came across this, the 10 best movies of all time, according to IMDb. Not according to this guy, this person over there. IMDb. When I see something in the video game, then I'll be saying, well, that's interesting. I'll drop it because I'm reading stuff. I love playing video games, but I don't play video games like most people. I haven't touched my video game in a while. I'm getting ready to get on Steam Deck, and I'm going to play a game on Steam Deck because I feel like playing my Steam Deck. That's what's nice about playing Steam Deck. Sometimes I come in my house, I shut everything off. I just like to sit. I got that out of reading Bible scriptures, like just sit in stillness so you think better. But anyway, you guys, I like my streaming services. I like collecting my physical copies. My streaming services, the reason why I like streaming services so well is because they're originals. I just feel like here's the thing. I feel like if the companies would go back to putting the movies out on a disc or having a long time before they're able to be put on a streaming service, the companies that are losing money on the front end, they can make the money on the back end. You might say, well, I'll just wait. Okay. If it was up to me, I'd be like, we lost money. That movie ain't coming out for 8 months because I know there's somebody out there want to watch that movie. I'm not dropping it on Netflix or anybody, Prime, none of that. It has to stay off site for 8 months. Do you want to watch this movie? You're going to have to pay. Because a lot of y'all it's okay. A lot of y'all so into that digital thing, which is the internet. I said, if they want to buy it, they're going to buy it off the internet. If they want it physically, then we'll see how much we're going to have it for sale on a digital platform for 3 months. And then when we get on the 4th month or the 5th month, then we'll sell it on physical. And we'll do that for 3 months. I don't give a damn about losing money because eventually we'll get our money back. And then we can put it on the streaming services. And I know you guys sit there and listen, they can't do that, man. They're crazy. They're going to lose money. Well, they already lost money anyway. Because we done got so trained to wait on stuff that we just, wait. That's what's hurting Disney Plus. Like I said, my streaming services, I watch Netflix because I'm old school. Somebody turned me on to Netflix. I said, man, I don't really listen to Netflix that much. I said, I like Netflix, but I just never really, I was much younger then. My kids was little. And this guy said, no, man, you get Netflix, they got this and that. And I said, well, man, I'm not into watching Seinfeld and all that over and over again. I remember saying that because I wasn't. So I went and got it. And Netflix was always in the background. Sometimes I get on Netflix and I'd watch something. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, this is pretty cool. And I was much younger then because my kids was little. I always kept Netflix. Then Netflix got smart. Netflix must have heard a little birdie tell them something, which is very smart. Gotta get that credit. Y'all can talk about Netflix all you want, but they say, hey, we want to start pumping out some more stuff. We want to start getting our investors and making my own stuff. Yeah, we make a lot of crap, but we make a lot of good stuff at the same time. So Netflix did a good job getting the jump on that. That's why they do as good as they do. And that is their platform. They built their platform on. See what I'm saying? So I just want to put that out there. And like I said, I really think you guys that these movies that I just talked about, I think these movies were good from the jump start. But Shawshank Redemption was a box office flop. But it took off when people started watching it. So that's all I have to say. I just thought I'd share that with you, and I thought I'd share a few things. I like my streaming services due to the fact that they got stuff on there that are exclusives. You know how Sony has exclusives? You know how people like the PS5 or the PS4 or the PS3 because it's the exclusives? Microsoft used to have exclusives in the 360 days, but they screwed up and they've never been able to recover. Nintendo, I know there's a lot of flack about Nintendo with the Nintendo Switch 2, but Nintendo, what works for them is they stay the same. They make games for their system. and they go outside and bring stuff in, but Nintendo makes games that are fun for people to play. They got exclusives for Nintendo. So that's why I'm trying to get people to understand about the streaming service. You can talk about the streaming services all you want, but they have stuff. It's like I follow these people on my I follow them on my YouTube channel. This married couple. They talk about, you know, how you could jump from one streaming services to another. Very good. I can't think of the name of it, but when you follow something like that, you could get on the site, watch their stuff, and then click off. Like I got Apple. I'm gonna cancel Apple today, but I got Apple for 30 days so I can watch something. So Apple did make money off of me. $10. And I'm gonna watch I got 30 days to watch something on there. So that's what I like about the streaming services. But these movies that I just said, I think movies would still make a lot more money, you guys, if they would just get out there and just say, you're not going to get your money back for like 10 months from now. We need to reorganize everything, get these people retrained and hold out. Because I know a lot of times they sit there and say, we lost money at the box office like right away. So we need to put it on digital right away to make the money back. And I understand that theory. But back in the day, man, when they used to have all these video stores, I know Warner Brothers as a company said that they think they cut their own throat by doing away with, that's how they made their money, is if they didn't do good at the theater, then they knew that they would make money selling physical copies because people wanted to buy it. So I hope this makes sense. But anyway, I just thought I'd share with you guys the 10 best movies of all time according to IMDb. I thought that was very interesting. So anyway, be safe out there. God bless. We'll catch you next video. And thanks for watching.